show him some light.
If you have to turn around to the camera and introduce yourselves.
Lance Oaks.
Scotty Lee.
Crystal Lee.
Sean Neeson.
Sergeant Oaks, Sergeant Lee, and Sergeant Neeson are all K-9 handlers, and this is Lee's wife, Crystal. Okay, I would like y'all to imagine a 75-pound dog with 42 teeth running over 30 miles an hour, running at you, and his only thing on his mind is to bite you. Alright? That is a military working dog. A lot of people think military working dogs are nice pets. To the handlers and to other trainers and other handlers, they're pretty good dogs, but they're still military working dogs. Well, I'd like to talk to you about the advantages of, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Arthur Palmer. I've been handling dogs for a little over 3 years, and I've worked 3 separate dogs. One old dog, middle-aged dog, and a brand new dog. Also, I would like to go ahead and start in with how puppies become military working dogs. Lackland Air Force Base has buyers that they send to places like Germany, for instance, around the summertime, that they'll travel to Germany, purchase these dogs. There's certain procurements or certain tests that these dogs have to go through before they're selected for to become a military working dog. Some of the tests that they have to go through is military working dogs they're between 12 to 24 months, and they must have a minimum height standard of 22 inches from the ground to the shoulder, and must weigh in at a minimum of 50 pounds. Also, these dogs must have good energy and stronger drive, which I'll get into drive a little bit later on. The energy levels that these dogs have will show how much drive they do have. Also, for the main part, since our main advantages of the military is the dog must have good sniffing behaviors. If they have good sniffing behaviors, they'll be able to find the explosives or the drugs, depending on the type of dog they are. Alright, after these dogs have been through the series of tests, they'll purchase these dogs of up to $10,000 is how much they pay for these dogs, or can pay up to for these dogs. So they make these purchases, they send them to Lackland Air Force Base to the 341st Training Squadron. They have a team of dog trainers down there that'll give these dogs protocol training, which will get their basics down, so when it's time to send them out to the field, they'll already have somewhat of a basic understanding of what the task they are required to accomplish. Lackland Air Force Base, the trainers down there, they will give the dogs basic commands of sit, heel, stay, the protocol training for explosives. Real basic, they give an explosive and a training aid. They'll put it in a box, tell the dog to give the dog a command to look for the aid. As soon as the dog encounters odor, they give the dog throw a ball or a Kong, pretty much giving the dog a reward for finding the aid. So after several trials of it, he'll figure out, as soon as I smell this odor, I get something. So you pay him, and then he'll start to want to hunt for it even more. Kind of like his needs and drives. A dog needs food and water, and it builds a stronger drive to want that food and water. Well, we don't really train the dogs. We just manipulate that need and drive for him to want that ball. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of how they teach these dogs. Now, once you give the dog the reward, you have to get that reward back. You give the dog another command like loose or drop it, and the dog will let go of the ball. Well, that will transition later on down the road when we get into the bite work portion. When you give the dog the same command, he'll already know when he jumps onto our decoy, which is our training suspect, if you will, that has all this equipment on. You give him that same command and he'll let go. So you see, the training process continues, and he will be able to all the commands that you give him transitions to other parts of the training. So now that Lackland Air Force Base has already gave the dogs that basic understanding of what they're supposed to do, they send them out to the operational military. Since we're in the Air Force, they send them out to the operational Air Force. As the dog transitions over to the Air Force, we assign the dogs new handlers. Once these handlers pick up these dogs, they maintain these dogs and bring up the proficiency of their training. By doing this, they go over even more several trials of the same thing that they learned in Lackland Air Force Base. After advanced training, these dogs get to the point where there's no way that you'll be able to get an explosive onto the installation. We search vehicles, we search airplanes, we search businesses on the installation. Once these dogs go through that advanced training, there's nowhere that you'll be able to hide these explosives without our dogs being able to find them. That's some of the main advantages that we have of having military working dogs, because there's nowhere you can hide the aids without our dogs finding them. Okay. Alright. Well, we went over how the dogs join the puppy program, or I'm sorry, not the puppy program, how the dogs were selected to come into Lackland Air Force Base for basic training, how they transitioned over to the new duty station, and from the time the handlers pick up the dogs. Once the more rapport that the dogs have with the handlers, the better they will work for them. So that's some of the advantages of how having a military working dogs in the military, and how we come up with the military working dogs. Also, so we already covered all that. Here's some visual aids of the bite equipment for our patrol work that the dogs use. Is a heavy bite suit that the dogs cannot bite through, a sleeve for the basic dogs to get the dogs to learn that it's okay to bite and what to bite. As they get more advanced, we'll give we'll put our decoy, our suspect, in this bite suit and the bite pants. So, does anybody have any questions? Nope. All right. So next time y'all see a military working dog walking down the street, you'll understand all the process that it took for this dog to be purchased, to go through the complete training, and what it does on today lives to save your life and DoD assets and protect the U.S. government. All right. That's it. How much was that? I don't know. I could stop it.